Ewan's experience of high school is the word fine. Everything was fine. You would get no real excitement about anything. Yeah, he was doing hires, yes, he was doing Nat 5s, he was doing all the right things to give him a kind of open book of what he could pick from. He went to do a foundation apprenticeship in engineering.
My daughter was approached at school. She was ending her 4th year at high school and decided that she was looking for a career in accounts or business, and decided that a foundation apprenticeship would be a good way of gaining more experience and skills.
Rebecca's my daughter, and she's in the 2nd year of her foundation apprenticeship in finance.
Yeah, the big change in Ewan is that he's a much more confident young person. He really was quite a quiet young lad who had a group of friends, but now he's mixing with people who are not from his normal peer group, not even from his school. He looked forward to Tuesday and Thursday of actually going out to school, knowing that he'd be at college in the afternoon.
I feel it's been really good for my daughter Rebecca because it's really given her such good confidence. Rebecca actually applied for a part-time job, which she was successful in getting, based on the fact she was able to put on her CV that she had experience of working.
The foundation apprenticeship has certainly given Louise lots of different skills. She has gained experience within an office environment now. She's been communicating with adults, different people of all ages. She has gained independence, travelling in and out to going to work every day.
And through the foundation apprenticeship course with his qualifications, he managed to get an interview with the company, which is very successful, and now he's working as an apprentice gas fitter. It's
a great way for teenagers now to get into the working field. They can start here and be out earning while they're actually learning, which is a great thing. Both his mum and I are really proud of him. The fact is that he has suddenly got a destination that he actually wants to do, not something we were saying, maybe you should try this. And he now leaves the house at just after 7 every morning to go there.
I have no hesitation in recommending this. My daughter managed to do this as well as study, so she has had double standards. She's getting experience and she's also did excellent in her exams as well.
I think that's us.
I could give you a laugh if that names.
Hello everyone, welcome to Scotland's biggest parents' evening.
Tonight we'll be joined by a panel of experts who have first-hand experience in all the apprenticeship programmes. Us being apprentices ourselves, we want to encourage young people to get involved in all the programmes.
If you comment questions down below, we'll try and get the panel of experts to answer them for you.
So let's get started. To kick off, we're going to pass you over to Elaine Walls from SDS to tell you a little bit to kick us off.
Thanks very much. Hi, I'm Elaine. I work on foundation apprenticeships across the whole of the northeast of Scotland, and I'm really proud to say Fife has been leading the way in foundation apprenticeships since 2014. We now have a really well established programme of foundation apprenticeships right across every school in the area. Foundation apprenticeships are really important because they are a new way to learn. They are a major Scotland Government ambition, and right across the whole of Scotland, more and more and more young people are getting the opportunity to learn through work-based learning. That means that they are studying a qualification the same level as a higher in the workplace, many hours in the workplace, as well as learning in a much more college-focused or student-focused kind of way. That means that they leave school with a qualification that will allow them to go to university, college, a modern apprenticeship, or straight into work, but also they have the skills and experience of being in the workplace at the same time. So a really valuable qualification.
That's great, Elaine. We're going to go for a quick video. We'll be back in a minute.
As a parent, you've seen your child develop and dream about their future. Now that they're going into S5 or S6, a foundation apprenticeship could help them shape their career. Foundation apprenticeships help school pupils stand out from the crowd, giving them real work experience and a qualification recognised and valued by employers, universities and colleges across Scotland. Foundation apprenticeships. There's more to school than you think. Visit apprenticeships.scot. As a parent, you've seen your child develop and dream about their future. Now that they're going into S5 or S6, a foundation apprenticeship could help them shape their career. Foundation Apprenticeships help school pupils stand out from the crowd, giving them real work experience and a qualification recognised and valued by employers, universities and colleges across Scotland. Foundation Apprenticeships. There's more to school than you think. Visit apprenticeships.scot.
It's a big decision, isn't it? Where do I go? Which path's right for me? Maybe it's simple and your degree journey starts right here. Fife College offers over 400 courses across 40 specialist subject areas. We're driven by a vision of success, and we are the route to the qualification that's right for you. So why travel further for the same result? Fife College. Your degree, your journey starts here.
Now.
Hi everyone, now I am joined with Lucinda McAllister, Service Manager for Employability, and John Penman, Managing Director from Fife Fab. Could you please tell us a wee bit about what your involvement are with apprenticeships?
Hi, I'm Lucinda McAllister from Fife Council Service Manager for Employability, and I really have a team that help work in partnership with the college to drive foundation apprenticeships and modern apprenticeships in Fife.
Hi, I'm John Penman, I'm the Managing Director at Fife Fab. My involvement with Foundation Apprenticeships is making sure that we have a pipeline of the future talent and encouraging young people to come into industry.
Perfect. So I have a question that's came in for you, Lucinda. Why are education trying to change qualifications?
I think education are, I would say change qualifications, I wouldn't say change, we're actually adding vocational training into the educational system. The Scottish Government actually did a review with Sir Ian Wood, who's a leading light actually in the business community, to really drive forward and and test out how involved industry was with education, and to really make sure that we're driving forward vocational training. And vocational training is very important because of the skills gaps. John just mentioned skills gaps earlier. It's very important that we understand what industry needs, what the gaps are, and then give people the chance to take a vocational route into the world of work. So we're not changing, we're enhancing the curriculum with more choices for people to have a vocational route into industry and education.
Definitely. And John, is that the same point of view for yourself?
Yeah, almost certainly. I think every business is facing similar challenges in terms of demographics. And you know, we have a huge gap with opportunities and our ability to fill vacancies. So it's critical that we get the future talent skilled both academically and in the world of work.
Definitely. Well, that passes us on to the next question for you, John. What motivates you as an employer to support foundation apprenticeships and modern apprenticeships?
I think as a business, it makes sure that we have the right people in the right places to support our business going forward, our community. But more importantly, it allows us to put something back into the communities that we operate in and give good opportunities to every child in Fife. Should be given the same opportunities, and there is lots of roles that we can put these kids into.
Perfect. Lucinda, another question. Will my child, this is from a parent, be guaranteed a job after completing an apprenticeship?
What I would say is no one's ever guaranteed a job, but what I think is very important about this route is that you can build a relationship with businesses. You can test out what that world of work feels like, and most often you do, if not with the company that you're doing your apprenticeship with, you would actually be rooted on, because the agencies and the colleges work with people to get them rooted on into another job within their chosen occupational area. So I would say that you've actually got a better chance, because you've built a relationship with the industries and the businesses, than probably somebody that goes through the traditional route to university, who's then got to come out of the educational system and then start to build a relationship with businesses. So that's my thought.
Yeah, definitely. And John, what type of apprenticeships are on offer at Fife Fabrications?
We have a range of apprenticeships, both technical based, production engineering, administration, and on the shop floor. But I think if you look as a whole, I think the figures in the next 10 years in the UK alone, we're almost 1 million future candidates short just to keep where we are presently.
Yeah.
So it's important for our country, for our economy, that we give the children the right opportunities and the right skills to come into the workplace.
Perfect. John, just back to you. From an engineering perspective, do you think apprenticeships are important in meeting the needs of industry?
I think we are seeing a change that apprenticeships, and in other countries, Germany and Italy, apprenticeships are seen as the primary route to employment, and we need to get the message out that yep, it's good to go to university, but you could complete the same qualifications with an apprenticeship with a company, be guaranteed a job and being paid every week to do that. So that universities have their part to play, colleges, but also an apprenticeship gives you a good grounding, an education, and a long career ahead.
Perfect. Lucinda, that's actually what my next question is for you. Can my child still get into university with a foundation apprenticeship?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way it's all been geared up. And what I would actually say is that a lot of the universities now are really, really highly recognising the foundation apprenticeship qualification. And in some cases, actually, the credits for a foundation apprentice is far higher. Like for one foundation apprenticeship, you can get, like, it counts as 3 to the one higher. So I would say, without doubt, it doesn't stop you actually going into, and sometimes often helps people reach their goals of going into university to do the career choice that they've made.
Perfect. Going back to you, John, this is from a parent. I'm a parent but also an employer. What would you say are the benefits of taking on an apprentice from a business point of view, and what do apprenticeships offer that other people don't?
I think every employer has an important part to play because at some point they'll be looking to recruit. And what we've found at Fife Fabrication is the motivation when we see our current staff passing their knowledge on to the future generations, we actually get an uplift in our staff because they feel they're contributing to the future. And I think the uplift for the candidate, but also for a business in terms of you see a company investing in people, you get the picture there's a future because they're looking at the future recruits. It's all positive.
And is that the same for you, Lucinda, with being within Fife Council?
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, I think, pick a sector, any sector, and we have an ageing demographic. We have real skills gaps, and I think these types of routes into employment, and in particularly with the foundation apprenticeship, where we're actually getting young people to connect with industry before they even leave school, is hugely important because, and even with us as one of the largest, still the largest employers in Fife, we're really concerned across all of our areas that we don't have enough young people, and a lot of our kind of qualified staff and experienced staff are now making the choices at a certain age because they can, they want to move on and retire, and if you lose them too quickly before you bring the new blood in, you're not going to be able to kind of pass on that experience. So for me, this whole agenda is like huge. I mean, it would be nice to do, it's hugely important.
Perfect. Either or answer this one. Could you please give us an insight on what a foundation apprenticeship is, a modern apprenticeship and a graduate apprenticeship, and the difference between the three?
Well, a modern apprenticeship in our company is the recruitment, and in year 1 you attend college for the full year, and in year 2, 3 and 4 you do 4 days in the company and 1 day at college, hopefully reaching an HND at the end, and you get experience in every department in our company. So whether you come on an MA for an engineering, you will get experience in finance and procurement and administration. So it's to give the candidate a broader range as possible in terms of an apprenticeship in a normal MA.
Do you want me to say what I think?
A wee bit about foundation apprenticeship.
Indeed. In relation to the foundation apprenticeship, there's 12 frameworks, and all of the information you can either get on the Fife College site or the Opportunities Fife or SDS.
But I think the foundation apprenticeship is where it's part of their choices in the curriculum within the school, and the young people can actually work on that qualification whilst in school.
Yeah.
And then if they choose to, they can move on to a modern apprenticeship, or they can move into university. And really the graduate apprenticeship, there aren't a lot of frameworks around at the moment. We're building on that.
Yep.
But that for me, as a young graduate, is able to come into a job, into a sector where they can then again work towards kind of fulfilling their qualification and their course of learning in industry.
Perfect. And that leads us on to the next question for you, Lucinda. Will my son be paid whilst on placement doing a foundation apprenticeship?
No, I would say your son won't be paid whilst doing their foundation apprenticeship. What I would say is that they're given the opportunity to really go in and be part of an organisation, to really connect with people within an organisation, and when they come out the other end of that, potentially there could be a job there for them. They could move on into a modern apprentice, or sometimes they might just move on into a job. So I would say there's a wealth of things that are really positive and taking up the apprenticeship family.
Great.
I think there's also the value that that candidate will have something solid to put on their CV
Definitely.
that other candidates won't have. A foundation apprenticeship. That when an employer sees that's great.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Rolling
very
back
much.
to the video, please.
As a parent, you've seen your child develop and dream about their future. Now that they're going into S5 or S6, a foundation apprenticeship could help them shape their career. Foundation apprenticeships help school pupils stand out from the crowd, giving them real work experience and a qualification recognised and valued by employers, universities and colleges across Scotland. Foundation apprenticeships. There's more to school than you think. Visit apprenticeships.scot.
It's a big decision, isn't it? Where do I go? Which path's right for me? Maybe it's simple, and your degree journey starts right here. Fife College offers over 400 courses across 40 specialist subject areas. We're driven by a vision of success, and we are the route to the qualification that's right for you. So why travel further for the same result? Fife College. Your degree, your journey starts here.
Hi guys, we're back. This time I'm joined with Lynn, who is the head of DYW in Fife College. Lynn, you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, hi Greg. I'm head of DYW Partnerships in Fife College, and we look after school-college partnership activity in schools, and that includes the foundation apprenticeships that are offered within the 18 high schools within Fife.
And I'm also joined with our own foundation apprentice, Erin from St Columba's High School. Our question we've got for you, Erin, is from a parent: why should my child choose a foundation apprenticeship instead of a higher, do you think?
Well, it depends on the priorities of the child, but the advantage to foundation apprenticeships is you do get that work experience which you won't get at school, or it's a lot more difficult to arrange. And even if you do get it at school, it won't be for as long, and you don't get the skills that come with a foundation apprenticeship. And obviously foundation apprenticeships, it's a different framework, so you'll have access to new skills and even different facilities. Like for my lab one, our school labs, they're just not up to the same par as ones that we use at college.
Right, that's brilliant. And this one's for yourself, Lynn. Someone's asking, are all foundation apprenticeships taught in school?
No, we do have some host schools where we deliver the foundation apprenticeship in schools, sometimes in partnership with the school, the delivery. Some are delivered in college, but a large part of it is delivered in the workplace. And the foundation apprenticeship, the whole design of it is to give that experience out in the workplace. So the main focus is the workplace experience.
All right. And another one is, do you need to be at school, still studying in school, to study a foundation apprenticeship?
Yes, that's offered S5 and S6 predominantly. We do offer in Fife S4 on some of the frameworks, but yes, you have to be in school, and we would give you the opportunity depending on which framework that you're wanting to work with as to what you would get the offer of.
Great. And another one for yourself, Erin. We know that you're a scientific technology student for your foundation apprenticeship. Someone's asking, why did you choose to study scientific technologies? Because we know that it's not as popular for women. Do parents have a role in encouraging girls to get into science and subjects like that?
Well, I chose the scientific technologies one because that is, I've always had a passion for science, and I do want to go on to study further science at university and so on, but I wanted more experience within a lab and to do more experiments and just better lab work, to be honest. And also the work placement really appealed to me because it's really difficult to get work placements in labs because there's a whole bunch of safety reasons, and you just won't have the qualification or be allowed in research labs, but the apprenticeship allows you to do that. And as far as the encouraging women into science, I think it's a responsibility for parents and schools, to be honest, but at a younger age, at high school, most people know what they want to do, or they've already decided and they don't like maths or that, but kids who are younger in primary school they're more malleable in a sense that you can encourage them into science and be like, oh no, it's not all this, and it's more fun, and there's different paths you can take. It's not just some guy in a lab coat. You can do thousands of things with it depending on where you want to go. And parents recognising if young girls have a passion for science or maths or technology or anything, to nurture it and like encourage them, like take them to science centres and things like that, and be like, oh no, play with this nail kit.
So, is there any specific thing you're looking to get into with scientific technology, or is it just to go into something broad?
Well, I've applied I'm going on to study biochemistry. I'm not sure where yet.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going on to hopefully research and then furthering that, and just kind of going on to do further academic. But there's loads of things you can do with it, like become a lab tech or work in NHS labs and test samples and things, or even become a science teacher if that's what you want to do. It opens a lot of opportunities.
Right, well, as you said earlier, that it's sometimes younger children that are influenced at an early age into picking what they want to do at school. Like, how long would you say you've known you wanted to get into this?
A really long time, to be honest. Ever since I was a wee kid, I always loved science, and my mum would buy me like science books for kids, and there was like things about elements or like science or physics, and even though that's not quite where I ended up, it was really encouraging for my mum to lead me on to these things and take me to science centres, and I was fortunate enough to be able to go to those. So even from a very young age, to be honest, but even I knew other folk in my year, like my friend Marie, she loves engineering, and her was also from a young age.
That's great. The next one's maybe for both of you. If a young person is interested in getting into a foundation apprenticeship, how would they apply? How would they go about doing that?
Well, I applied through, I first went on Opportunities Fife website, and that led me to the Fife College website, where I think I applied just as a normal, as you would for any Fife College course, but that, I don't know if it's different if you're doing it at school, because mine's hosted at Fife College.
Yeah, what would happen is if you're interested, you would go onto Opportunities Fife website and have a look. We have 11 frameworks on offer in Fife, so I'm quite sure you'd find something you were interested in. That would give you a breakdown of what's involved in the framework, and then you would apply online, but ideally you would have discussed that with your guidance teacher first at school. We would then follow that up, so the Fife team would follow that up, someone would be in contact with you, and we would then take that application further.
So as Lan says, guys, the applications for next year are open. If you want to get applying, go to the Opportunities Fife website. We'll have links for it all over our social media if you are interested. Our next one is, are foundation apprenticeships nationally recognised? So what, if you're applying for uni, for example, like how do they look at a foundation apprenticeship as an equivalent to Hires or National Fives or things like that?
Well, pleased to say that every university recognises foundation apprenticeships. Foundation apprenticeships are recognised as a higher, and for those of you who know your SCQF levels, you'll know that it comes out at a level 7. So some universities would give you entry into, some universities would recognise it as 1 higher and some 2. So you would have to really look up and see what universities were looking for. But you can also start on your degree journey by looking at what's available in colleges as well, because it's direct entry into HNCs, and it's also entry into MAs for the modern apprenticeship would be your next step as well.
Yeah. And our next one is, what happens if my school doesn't offer the foundation apprenticeship that they want? Like, how would they go about doing that? Can they still do the apprenticeship they want if it's not offered in their school?
My advice would be that you contact your guidance teacher and have the conversation with your guidance teacher as to your choice and your reasoning behind that choice. You can always, go through the Opportunities Fife website and contact somebody, and we also have employment officers out in schools who are based in your school 1 day a week, that you could contact them and have a conversation with them, and hopefully together we'd be able to support you for following the right route.
And this next one's for yourself, Erin. As we know, you're studying scientific technology, and that sounds great. What sort of things have you been getting involved in during your course?
Well, there's a lot of lab work and writing lab reports and things, but there's also, you do a unit on microbiological techniques and you learn about microbiology. And there's also the health and safety units, which obviously will come with working in a lab. And there's also like the maths and chemistry units, so you have a foundation for the rest of the unit, but a lot of it is practical lab work and then learning even how to keep a lab diary in that you would do in a working research lab and stuff like that.
Great. And as I've mentioned, you being a girl studying science, which we need to get more girls into the STEAM subjects. Do you feel there's more that can be done, as you've said, parents and teachers can do to encourage you to get into that? But what do you think they can do to encourage you to get involved?
I think, well, asking their kids about it, to be honest, having a communication as, a lot of kids I know, they don't like to talk about school, they spend 6 hours there a day and they just want to go home and relax, but asking them what their interests are and what they want to do in the future, because it's important to encourage young women into science, but if that's not what they're strong suited as or what they're interested in, it's a lost cause. So it's building an interest and then nurturing it with opportunities, I guess.
The next one's also for you, Erin. You're pretty popular this evening. What is different between your school classes and when you go off to do your FA?
Well, the school classes, you have an exam at the end, so it's all on filling coursework requirements, learning the materials, passing the unit tests, although they've stopped with those now for, I think, people younger than me, but yeah, it's learning of it, doing exam techniques, and it's just, that's all you need to know. And then, but for the FA, it's more practical experience. There's no exam at the end, which is a huge relief, and it's more kind of gradual, and it's more easygoing to obtain, to be honest. It's still hard work, don't get me wrong, but it's more manageable in a sense.
Great answer. And the next one
It's a risk.
Yeah.
The next one's for yourself, Lynn. Can a foundation apprenticeship done through college be done alongside other subjects?
Yes, if the foundation apprenticeship is part of their timetable from school, it would be done along their full timetable. It's incorporated into the full timetable, so it is very manageable. It's if it's written into the timetable. Yeah.
That's great, guys. We're going to head off for another quick video. I'd like to thank both these ladies for joining me tonight, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Trick is not to fall off the stool. Okay. That's the tricky bit.
Ewan's experience of high school is the word fine. Everything was fine. You would get no real excitement about anything. Yeah, he was doing hires, yes, he was doing nat fives, he was doing all the right things to give him a kind of open book of what he could pick from. He went to do a foundation apprenticeship in engineering.
My daughter was approached at school. She was ending her 4th year at high school and decided that she was looking for a career in accounts or business, and decided that a foundation apprenticeship would be a good way of gaining more experience and skills.
Rebecca's my daughter, and she's in the 2nd year of her foundation apprenticeship in finance.
Yeah, the big change in Ewan is that he's a much more confident young person. He really was quite a quiet young lad who had a group of friends, but now he's mixing with people who are not from his normal peer group, not even from his school. He looked forward to Tuesday and Thursday of actually going out to school, knowing that he'd be at college in the afternoon.
I feel it's been really good for my daughter Rebecca because it's really given her such good confidence. Rebecca actually applied for a part-time job, which she was successful in getting, based on the fact she was able to put on her CV that she had experience of working.
The foundation apprenticeship has certainly given Louise lots of different skills. She has gained experience within an office environment now. She's been communicating with adults, different people of all ages. She has gained independence, travelling in and out to go into work every day.
And through the foundation apprenticeship course with his qualifications, he managed to get an interview with a company which is very successful, and now he's working as an apprentice gas fitter.
It's a great way for teenagers now to get into the working field. They can start here and be out earning while they're actually learning, which is a great thing.
Both his mum and I are really proud of him. The fact is that he has suddenly got a destination that he actually wants to do, not something we were saying, maybe you should try this. And he now leaves the house at just after 7 every morning to go there.
I have no hesitation in recommending this. My daughter managed to do this as well as study, so she has had double standards. She's getting experience and she's also did excellent in her exams as well.
I think that's us.
That's great. I could give you a laugh if nothing else.
Hi guys, we're back again. This time I'm joined with Joe Perry, another foundation apprenticeship who is involved in the children and young people course. We're also joined with his mum. You may have seen Joe on our STV adverts that we've posted all over social media. You'll have seen him on the telly. He's a bit of a superstar. I'm a bit jealous, I must say. Our first question is for you, Joe. Was your foundation apprenticeship what you expected it to be, and has it made your expectations?
It was more than I expected. I just expected it to be like a normal subject, but it gives you more hands-on experience than I was expecting it to give you. So it's topped all my expectations.
That's great, and we've got one for you, Sandy. What was your first impression of the name Foundation Apprenticeship? We've had some parents in our people who look at the name Foundation and think it's like, oh no, I'm a bit better than that, but like, how do you see that?
Well, when I first heard, I'd never heard of it before, so I was kind of thinking back to when I was at school, you know, like it was YTS and things like that, so I thought it was maybe something quite similar to that, and I was quite happy for Joe to look into it and you know, find out all about it. It's definitely, you know, the best thing that he's done, definitely.
Leads us on to our next question actually is, have you seen a difference in Joe since he started studying his foundation apprenticeship?
Absolutely, he's like a different boy. His confidence is through the roof. He's enjoying, you know, going out, and every Monday when he goes to the nursery to do his, you know, his course that he's on, he's desperate to go. He's actually enjoying going into school as well more. You didn't really enjoy school so much, but now even just going into school, he's become head boy, and I think it's given him confidence, not just in the apprenticeship that he's doing, but just in general, and he was able to push himself to get the position of head boy at the school, and you know, in his job as well. He's just excelling at everything.
No, it's fair to say you're doing well, Joe. Like, obviously, if you're getting yourself on the TV and all that, would you agree with all that? Like, have you seen a difference in yourself?
I think I've seen a difference in my confidence and my skills, like my people skills, because you deal with a lot more people than you usually would, but you don't usually do that until you're at college. So getting to do that at school, it's made it a lot easier to communicate with people that are a bit older than you in workplaces.
So, do you feel like it's a completely different setting, like going from being in class and then going into the nursery and getting to work with, well, there will be adults there working and there's young people. Like, do you see a difference between school and the nursery?
I think there's a big difference. It just shows you that wherever you work, when you leave school, it's nothing like the school environment. So it's pretty much every man for themselves when you're out. So it just gives you more experience, and but then you get to you learn more, if that makes sense. Like, so you learn more about yourself than you do when you're at school.
Good. This one's for you, Sandy. What knowledge did you have on foundation apprenticeships prior to Joe starting his? Because a lot of parents and people who aren't at school said like they didn't know really what they were. So what was your knowledge of it?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I didn't really, I think I'd maybe heard bits and pieces here and there, but I didn't really pay much attention to what it actually involved until it came to Joe wanted to leave school, and I didn't really want him to leave. I felt he was too young, and I had just gone into the school just to have a chat with the deputy head, and he had mentioned it, and myself and my husband read into it, had a chat with Joe, and it just sounded exactly what he was needing at that time. But no, I wouldn't have known unless I had looked into it, be going into the school.
So could you say, Joe, that your foundation apprenticeship has maybe kept you at school? Like, did you want to leave before you found this?
It's the main reason I'm at school at the moment anyway. So if I don't feel like, if I left school at fourth year, I don't think I'd be where I am today. Don't think I'd be, don't know if I would still be at college or just trying to do full-time work. But I think the foundation apprenticeship's given me more skills than I would have gained if I wasn't at school, because I've done all my nationals and starting hires and stuff as well.
So do you enjoy school more than you did? Yeah.
I enjoy it a lot more than I did. It's probably been the most two enjoyable years of my life at school.
No, that's great to hear. Another one for yourself, Sandy, is what advice would you give to other parents that may not see a foundation apprenticeship like on the same level as a higher or a national 5, or like what would you say to them?
My personal experience as Joe's mum, I would fully encourage, I mean, I've got a younger son as well that's coming up to high school age. I would fully encourage him to go for it. I'd fully encourage people to look into it and not dismiss it, because there's so much more to it than what you initially think, particularly for Joe, because he wasn't maybe as academic as what he wanted to be. This has just given him a whole new perspective on learning. You know, he didn't enjoy going to school because he was struggling with his dyslexia and his dyspraxia. He struggled a little bit, and I think this has just given him the confidence to let him see that he actually can do things that he wants to do. He's been able to push himself, and he's worked really hard as well. You know, a lot of it's down to his hard work as well, but I think the experience and the knowledge that they get for the foundation apprenticeships is great, particularly I think for kids that maybe don't have a lot of confidence, or maybe they're not sure what they're wanting to do when they leave school. You know, there's so many opportunities out there. If they go through the foundation apprenticeship, I think it's a great thing for them.
Yeah. So Joe, as your mum's saying about the hard work, do you feel that doing your course is hard work?
I feel like it is a lot more work than you would expect, because some people, because obviously I'm doing childcare, some people think, oh, it's easy, you're just playing with children all day, which it's not. It's more practical. Like you have to learn about development, play, safeguarding. You have to learn how to look after the children before you even go into placement, and you have to go through all the checks and everything, so it's quite hard work trying to keep all that up for the end goal, but it's worth it.
So what kind of stuff do you get involved in the nursery?
Well, I get like we go outside and we'll go on walks and stuff with the kids. I'll do snack with the kids, story time, even just like playing and dressing up with them. It's just keeping them entertained and helping them learn as they're going as well.
Well, that sounds to me like actually quite good fun, really. So I take it doesn't really feel like work at all.
I've got to say the day does go past quite quick, so
yeah.
It is quite fun because there's not a really stressful day so far, but we'll have to see about that. Right.
That's another one for yourself, Sandy. Are you happy with Joe's progress and the range of opportunities available to him?
Absolutely. He's just come so far since starting the foundation apprenticeship. As I said earlier, his confidence is completely different to 2 years ago. He was a different boy. He's so confident. He's desperate to learn new things. He wants to go as far as he can in this career, and that's all down to going through the foundation apprenticeship.
Oh, that's good to hear. And Joe, another question for you is, how valuable has your work experience been, and how do you think it will benefit you in the future?
I feel like it's been quite valuable because it's taught me a lot more than sitting in a classroom. So when you're sitting in your class, this is what it will be like, but my placement's taught me this is what it is like. So it's given me all the skills that you need, because there's some things that you think, oh, this is what it's like, but it's not.
Yeah.
So it's also given me just hours so I can say, oh, I've done placement, so I've got more knowledge than someone that might be going straight in from school to try and do a modern apprenticeship.
Right. So as I said in your wee intro about the STV adverts, and like, how did that come about, and like, is that something you took to straight away, like, yeah, I want to do that, or did they approach you? How did that come about?
So I was walking past Mr. Cummins' office one day, the deputy head, and he asked me to just pop in, and he showed me an email asking if I would do the STV advert, and just straight away I thought, it's an opportunity you don't really want to miss, so just went for it.
So they've picked you out?
They picked me out of the 5.
That's brilliant. So what kind of stuff were you getting involved in with them? Like, how did that day go? I know myself, I was kind of behind the scenes there for the second half of the day, but I know that was quite a long process, wasn't it?
Well, it was from about 8:30 in the morning till about 6 at night, so
a long shift.
Just from that 20 seconds took quite a lot. But so they made me like paint with the kids, read stories, just do what I usually do at the nursery. Some bits they set up areas for me to do activities with the kids, but it wasn't mostly planned or that. So it was just going as it is. So like, as you see that one of the children in the advert, when I'm sitting painting with her, that's all real, because she wanted to paint. They were wanting us to draw, but she wanted to paint, so we went and done that. So it's kind of wasn't all set up, it was real.
Yeah. So as you can all see, like, as we're talking about Joe being on STV, getting all these great opportunities, I'm sure you'll all agree it's a great advert for the Foundation Apprenticeship Programme. Look how enthusiastic he is compared to how he was. He says he wanted to leave school and all this, and that's totally changed his view on school. So he really is like great for Fife, for Scotland, for the whole programme. I'm sure everyone will agree. I've got another question coming through for you, Joe, is what support have you received from everybody throughout your apprenticeship and through getting into it? I know your mum said that she was all on board for trying to keep you at school, but what support from everyone else have you had?
I've had quite a lot of support, especially from the teachers at the school, because I feel like obviously I wanted to leave school, I've got dyslexia and dyspraxia, so the school I think it's a great showing everybody that if you want to do something, you can do it, so you don't let anything stop you. Yeah. So I feel like everybody thinking that I'm like good at showing people how, because I've spoke to a few people about doing apprenticeships, and quite a lot of them most of them at my school and the childcare one have taken it on after I've spoke to them, so it's kind of makes my confidence as well, so it shows a lot of support from everyone.
That's great. If you don't mind me asking, as you've mentioned, you are dyslexic, you've got dyslexia, do you think that's ever held you back from like your schoolwork, your apprenticeship, anything?
It's never, I don't think it's held me back from my apprenticeship as much as like childcare, as English and maths, but it's held me back a wee bit in math because I've just got my National 5 maths and English, so it's just that I've got it in the skin of my teeth, so I think it's kind of.
That's great to hear. I'd like to thank you both for joining us this evening, and we'll be back after another quick video. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back soon.
Thank you.
As a parent, you've seen your child develop and dream about their future. Now that they're going into S5 or S6, a foundation apprenticeship could help them shape their career. Foundation apprenticeships help school pupils stand out from the crowd, giving them real work experience and a qualification recognised and valued by employers, universities and colleges across Scotland. Foundation apprenticeships. There's more to school than you think. Visit apprenticeships.scot.
It's a big decision, isn't it? Where do I go? Which path's right for me? Maybe it's simple and your degree journey starts right here. Fife College offers over 400 courses across 40 specialist subject areas. We're driven by a vision of success, and we are the route to the qualification that's right for you. So why travel further for the same result? Fife College. Your degree, your journey starts here.
Now I'm joined by Neil McGregor and Ross Grieve. Neil is a team manager from Building Services and Ross Grieve is a service manager. So I'm just going to fire straight into the first question. What would you say are the benefits of taking on an apprentice from a business point of view, and what do apprenticeships offer that other people don't?
I think from our point of view, construction's quite an industry that obviously there's a lot of health and safety, but there's a lot of work around it to be able to know how to get a trade at the end of it. So it's established apprenticeships within the construction industry. We have a high turnover of people that come through the construction industry in terms of we employ over 800 people in different trades. So the apprenticeship scheme that we run allows us to ensure that we keep up the standards, but we also bring people through the ranks and be able to get an apprenticeship and a career at the end of it.
It also allows us to bespoke our training for the apprentices so that they're trained for our business. So at the end of the 4 years we have a very competent tradesperson that can carry out all the jobs that we need them to carry out. And it's great to see a young person coming in and you see them in their first week when they're very nervous and even in the first induction week, by the time we get to the 5th day you can see their characters are starting to come out and you're starting to learn a little bit about them, and there isn't anything more satisfying than when you see them in their 4th year when the Lord Provost has given them a little talk about saying well done, you finished your apprenticeship, and you can see how they've matured as a person. So it's a great way to earn while you learn as well.
So is that what happens within Building Services? Do they get an induction for a week and then they're into college, or how does that work?
Yes, basically what we do is we take them in for a week induction and they get all our policies, procedures, things like social media, how they should be conducting themselves. They'll also go through training that we have to do. It's legislation, asbestos awareness training, manual handling training, harness training, all different things. And and it's quite a hard week for them because it's quite full on. But it is a way for us to get to know them, to give them training, to make them competent enough to go out with a tradesman. Obviously they go out and they're paired up with a competent tradesman that's going to look after them. And then they'll do a lot of peer learning with the tradesman, and there isn't a better learning curve than that when you're actually learning off of somebody that's maybe made mistakes in the past, so they know what's going on and what could potentially go wrong. So it's a good week, but it is full on for them.
Yeah. So what motivates you as an employer to support modern apprenticeships?
I think we like to have young people come through so that we actually ensure that we keep the skills and we teach them in-house. We're quite a lucky position in that most of them get offered a full-time tradesperson's job at the end of it. So I suppose also we're getting homegrown, where we are able as in Fife then to offer young people in Fife a job and a career, which means there's the opportunity to have the money that's spent in Fife kept in Fife. So it's encouraged us to bring people in apprenticeships. We've increased our apprenticeships because we've found that the construction industry, which is very buoyant, I think everybody can see the amount of construction works that's been invested in across the whole of the UK, and it's very, very hard to get tradesmen. So we've increased so that we've got a homegrown element, and we also try to take them beyond their apprenticeship after that. We'll look after them, and there's an opportunity for them to have a career, move on into a higher graded post, and to develop the different skills. We're very lucky in that we don't just do maintenance work, we do new build, we do refurbishments, and very large contracts as well. So there's an opportunity for them to get a variety as well.
Perfect. Well, that just takes me on to the next question. What type of apprenticeships are available within Fife Council Building Services?
We do all the construction apprentices, the electricians, plumbers, joiners, right up to the sort of unusual ones like sign makers. We basically have 18 different apprenticeships within our building services, and it's business led. If we're needing joiners in, we will take more joiners in that year. So we have just at present we have approximately about 120 apprentices. We will also take on displaced apprentices if they fit the criteria for us. If they've been made redundant, no fault of their own, they'll go through a wee process with us, a skills test, an interview stage and that. But they have to be doing everything correctly, they have to be attending their college, they have to be showing a good attitude to work.
So do they go to college one day a week, or is it all work-based?
It depends on the trade. Some of the electricians go away for 45 weeks at a time. Mechanical engineers go away they're on a day release or a 2-day release per week. So it depends on what trade you're going to.
Definitely. So how would a young person go about applying for a trade modern apprenticeship?
Our modern apprenticeship, we start our applications, go out towards the end of January and into the start of February. You need to log into My Job Scotland, and they can apply through there. We then, through selection processes, they need to have relevant qualifications for the various different trades that we do. They would then go into a selection process. We would then skill test them at that point in time. The skills tests are relatively easy. It's just to see the dexterity of their hands and how their eye and hand coordination is. And it also gives us a time to be quite relaxed with them and communicate with them, so you get a better feel for the people themselves. And then we'd go to the interview stage. And if they're successful, we're very happy to offer them a chance to earn while they learn and get a career that's going to stand them in good stead for life, basically.
Definitely. And Ross, what age would the ideal candidate be?
Oh, we take anybody from between 16 to 24. Some people will have some experience sometimes, others don't, but what we do try and encourage them is and teach them. We do that by going to the schools and then we'll start some primary schools, some secondary schools, but we tell them the type of way to apply and what to put in, so that we can actually see a bit of the person from the application itself, you know. So we don't have any preferences around that element of it. So we just look for the enthusiasm coming out, somebody who's done research, a bit of research about the job itself, their enthusiasm. They may well ask close relatives who are in construction, or a friend of a friend, but we try to encourage that. We have road shows that we take to the secondary and primary schools. For instance, we've recently been at a primary school in the Barkhaven area, and what we do is, from a joiner's point of view, we'll take a bench along, we take some of our existing joiner apprentices, we have electrician apprentices there, we have plumbing apprentices, stonemasons, and we have a wee road show. We have an interactive element to it, so that the kids themselves can get a hands-on try at it. So that encouragement comes through. So we try to start at a very early age, so that we can actually have a good array of people. We get about 1,299, I think we've got
1,299 applicants for 24 apprentice jobs this year. So it's actually down on last year. Last year we had over 1,400, but we were at a local council, Scottish Council meeting a couple of weeks ago, and everybody seems to be slightly less this year. I don't know why that is.
So on average, how long does it take to complete an apprenticeship within building services?
4 years.
Are they all 4 years?
But it does start, there's that pre-element, as we explained earlier. We usually start the process sometime round about the end of January. By the time we go through the recruitment process, we're into June. Okay. So somebody applying for it then starts in August. We've got a 4-year apprenticeship, and we like to think that we can follow that beyond that, and that some trades have an element where they get approved beyond their original apprenticeship, so we try and follow that through, so that they can go into further education. So although their apprenticeships set at 4 years, you know, we're quite happy to take them through an apprenticeship as long as they want, so that it takes them to the level that they would like to get to in life.
Perfect. Well, that wraps us up. Back to the next video. Thank you very much, Ross and Neil.
Trick is not to fall off the stool. Okay. That's the tricky bit.
Ewan's experience of high school is the word fine. Everything was fine. You would get no real excitement about anything. Yeah, he was doing hires, yes, he was doing nat fives, he was doing all the right things to give him a kind of open book of what he could pick from. He went to do a foundation apprenticeship in engineering.
My daughter was approached at school. She was ending her 4th year at high school and decided that she was looking for a career in accounts or business, and decided that a foundation apprenticeship would be a good way of gaining more experience and skills.
Rebecca's my daughter, and she's in the 2nd year of her foundation apprenticeship in finance.
Yeah, the big change in Ewan is that he's a much more confident young person. He really was quite a quiet young lad who had a group of friends, but now he's mixing with people who are not from his normal peer group, not even from his school. He looked forward to Tuesday and Thursday of actually going out to school, knowing that he'd be at college in the afternoon.
I feel it's been really good for my daughter Rebecca, because it's really given her such good confidence. Rebecca actually applied for a part-time job, which she was successful in getting, based on the fact she was able to put on her CV that she had experience of working.
The foundation apprenticeship has certainly given Louise lots of different skills. She has gained experience within an office environment now. She's been communicating with adults, different people of all ages. She has gained independence, travelling in and out to go into work every day.
And through the foundation apprenticeship course with his qualifications, he managed to get an interview with a company which is very successful, and now he's working as an apprentice gas fitter.
It's a great way for teenagers now to get into the working field. They can start here and be out earning while they're actually learning, which is a great thing.
Both his mum and I are really proud of him. The fact is that he has suddenly got a destination that he actually wants to do, not something we were saying, maybe you should try this. And he now leaves the house at just after 7 every morning to go there.
I have no hesitation in recommending this. My daughter managed to do this as well as study, so she has had double standards. She's getting experience and she's also did excellent in her exams as well.
I think that's us.
That's great. I could give you a laugh if nothing else.
Hello everyone, I would just like to say a personal thank you to everyone that's been involved today on the panel. So we've had Neil and Ross from Building Services, Lynn Ralph from Fife College, Elaine Walls from SDS and Joe and Sandy. They've all done incredible answering the questions. I'd also like to say a big massive thank you to everyone for tuning in at home.
We really hope you enjoyed and learned a bit more about all the apprenticeship programmes. Any questions that haven't been answered on the stream, we'll be sure to get back to you on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere that you've asked us any questions. Anyone looking to apply, as we've said, Opportunities Fife website. Hope you have a great night and thanks very much for tuning in.
We'd also like to say a big thank you to our service manager Lucinda and John Penman from Fife Fab and everyone from DYW that made this possible. Thanks very much.
We'll see you later on.
Bye.